Good evening and welcome. Thank you for keeping a date with us on the Nigerian Television Authority on Weekend Report. My name is Iyabodi Olorunsola. Tonight on Weekend Report, flood hits Shonga and environ. Monthly environmental sanitation exercise holds across Kwara State with large turnout in ILORIN. And on our discussion segment tonight, we take a look at the recent disbursement of grants to petty traders in Kwara State. Is it a political ploy or a duplication of federal government trader money? And isn't it the same set of people benefiting from the program? All this will be answered by my guest, who is already in the studio, plus updates from the world of sports and, of course, weather. Please don't go away. The opening of major dams in ILORIN in Nigeria, which led to the flooding ravaging hundreds of communities in parts of the country, has taken its toll on 11 communities in Shonga Emirate, the local government area of Kwara State, as an unprecedented volume of water carted away their sources of livelihood and rendered thousands of residents homeless. Olajide Bello visited the affected areas and brought back the pathetic tale and plight of the people.
What used to be hectares of rice and maize farms, which served as a source of livelihood to the people, is all gone. One of the victims, Umar Usman, showed me where his rice farm used to be.
Water everywhere with little to drink. This is the remains of almost 9 communities in Shonga Emirate in Edu local government area of Kwara State. According to some indigents, it is an annual occurrence that not only destroys investments but also displaces residents. Now, what is the way forward?
Well, the way forward is the federal government to come to the assistance of the community by erecting a permanent structure for these people.
For NTA News to get first-hand assessment, we embarked on a boat ride through Yimogi, Peleji, Patako, Patarinji, Banfita, Gudu, Kachegi, Kusagi, and terminated at Tada. The over 5 hours ride was not a pleasant experience, as most of the communities had been submerged. The Emir of Shonga, Dr. Haliru Yahya, while commiserating with the affected communities, ruled out some steps that can prevent the devastating effect of the annual flood.
The most important thing now is how to resettle them and the resources to resettle them in a meaningful manner. We appeal to government, federal government, state and federal government to see what they can do.
Formerly, I can travel from Shonga to Lokoja, to Onisha, to River Niger. But today we can't do it again. Why? Place because it had filled up with the sand and grass.
Ganadogo, Kochegi, Patako, and Yimagi, if you look at those areas, they used to have a high production of the rice.
Dredging of the Niger River was a part of the suggestions made by the community that this will go a long way to reducing the annual flooding experienced along this area. And it's been Olajide Bello reporting for NTA News.
Over 70 people have been arrested in ILORIN, Kwara State, for violating the environmental sanitation law during this month's sanitation exercise. Hamad Fulani reports that vehicles and motorcycles on the roads during the exercise were also impounded by security personnel.
Unlike the previous exercise, roads were blocked at strategic points as early as 7 in the morning, and people were sent home by officers and men of Nigerian police and civil defense in compliance with the state directive. Although traders at Ipata market did not open shops for business, only a few of them were seen cleaning their surroundings, while others waited in front of their shops for sanitation time to elapse. Goods displayed by some traders along the roads were also seized by law enforcement agents, while some youth returning from football field were punished and later arrested. Nuruddin Ali Mohammed, who monitored compliance level to the exercise, opined that offenders should be made to sweep the street in addition to paying the fine of 2,000 naira for violating the law.
I only advise the citizen to be at home during the environmental, so that they will be able to obey the laws of the states.
I stopped there at ILORIN. I followed my auntie for a wedding, so I don't know anything about this place. And I'm going to Lagos to go and meet my mom right now. So I don't know that they are going to have a sanitation today in their place.
Justice Dasuki Ahmad Ibrahim, who presided over the sanitation, insists that inadequate sensitization of the public is a contributing factor to residents falling culpable of the environmental offences.
If you enter the police station now, there are so many of them there. It's like there's lack of awareness, or some are not even serious at all. They are aware, but they just decided to be out.
The state government is not relenting in its efforts at ensuring that Kwara State regains its lost glory of a clean and green environment through continued sanitation exercise.
I want to appeal to our people not to dump in the drainage system. We should desist from these habits, because now we are in the raining season, and at the end of the day we might be experiencing flood.
Each offender was fined a sum of 2,000 naira or served a 2 weeks jail time, while those with genuine reasons for being on the road were acquitted and discharged. Ahmed Fulani, NTA News.
And moving gradually towards our discussion tonight, the Kwara State government during the week conducted a fresh distribution of grants to 30,000 female petty traders across the state. Raliat Ibrahim reports that the disbursement kick-started in 3 local government areas.
The grant is given to petty traders to boost small-scale businesses in the state. The program, tagged Oweshowo, is being carried out under the Kwara State Social Investment Programs. In this second tranche, 30,000 women from the 16 local government areas in the state were selected to benefit from 20,000 naira cash each.
After the disbursement, of course, we'll do monitoring and evaluation. We know who our beneficiaries are, we know their addresses, we have their contacts. So, of course, we'll monitor, we'll evaluate and see what is the impact assessment of this program. So the reason why we are doing this is because the initial one that we did, we actually got good feedback, and that is why we are starting the new phase.
ASA, Ilorin South and Ilorin West local government areas were chosen for the pilot program.
I'm very happy for the number that they gave us. We thank for our governor, Abrahamon Abrazak, because I'm a fashion designer. I can use it to start selling wool.
It means a lot for me because it's also helped me to move forward in my business that I'm doing.
Money will help me grow my business.
Beneficiaries are selected in conjunction with leaders of various markets. Raliat Ibrahim, NTA News.
Thank you, Raliat Ibrahim. She also went to town to sample the people's opinion of the program.
Our state government this week commenced the distribution of grants to petty traders in order to boost their businesses and make them more viable economically. With 600 million naira budgeted for the project and 30,000 female petty traders slated to benefit, how impactful can the 20,000 naira grant be? Describing it as a right step in the right direction, the call is for government to ensure the grant is given to those it is meant for and not politicized.
We hope it continues, and we hope that we'll have very good and intellectual people that have integrity that will be managing it all, so that it will really get to the needed beneficiaries precise, because people could be very cunning at times. Let it not be that some set of people will be giving it to their families, their wives, their descendants, all sorts.
Remilakun Abodede is a fufu seller who is yet to benefit from Oweshowo but is hopeful.
I heard about the loan, but I am yet to get. I will use it to buy cassava.
It will help, although it's not that much, but it will go a long way in helping.
The grant is administered under the state government's social intervention tagged Oweshowo, and beneficiaries are loaned 20,000 naira each to boost their businesses. Raliat Ibrahim, NTA News.
Every day, life presents hopes, dreams, and challenges. Challenges that can become successes with a little help. Because a little help can empower you to go from despair to celebration. A little help can keep you going until the race is won. A little help can turn bundles of anxiety into a bundle of joy. And with Glow Data, you get much more than just a little help. You get the biggest data deals in town to make every day glow with small wins and big wins. Dial *777# to select your Glow Data plan.
Thank you for staying with us on the Nigerian Television Authority ILORIN, and you're still watching Weekend Report. And as I told you earlier, my guest is with me on the studio. He is the Acting General Manager of the Kwara State Social Investment Program, Malam Abdukowi Olododo. Thank you for coming on Weekend Report.
Good evening. Thank you for having me.
Okay. Your program has been commended, but that does not mean that we don't have salient questions that we want to ask. So what informed the program in the first place?
Okay, thank you very much for having me once again. The program that was flagged off on Wednesday, 24th of September 2022 is not a fresh program. Okay. It's a program that even last year, November 3rd, 2021, His Excellency actually flagged off a 30,000 disbursement to petty traders in Kwara State. Okay. So it was based on the feedback and the impact assessment of the last disbursement that informed the fresh disbursement to the petty traders.
Okay, is it in form of loan or grant?
It's a grant to the petty traders.
Oh, okay. So what are the criteria for selecting the beneficiaries? And why is it only women? Because I know we have men who are into trading too.
Yes, the last phase of disbursement to the 30,000 petty traders actually cut across both genders, be it male, be it female. The only reason why we took a different dimension this time around is because we mirrored it against the Nigeria for Women project. It's a World Bank program that, you know, it's basically encouraging women to go into trading, you know, savings and all of that. So we felt, okay, we want the World Bank to also support our women in Kwara State. Let us show them that, you know what, we are also investing and supporting our women in Kwara State. And that's why we said this time around, the petty traders we are focusing on will be the women. And that is why it's solely for women for this very phase.
Okay, so what criteria did you use in picking the women?
Essentially, the criteria is number one, you have to be a petty trader. The goods of what you sell has to be within the range of 10,000 naira, 20,000 naira. And how we go about identifying these beneficiaries, we work with different stakeholders across board, particularly the Yalojers in all the markets in Kwara State. So they are our major partner on this program, the Yaloja and the Babalojers, and then we move to the various communities in different wards to identify these petty traders across the states.
Okay, the federal government has a similar program. Is it not a duplication of a project, the trader money of the federal government?
Well, if you are well informed, you will know even the agency itself, Kwara State Social Investment Program, was mirrored after the National Social Investment Program of Mr. President NCIP. And all these programs, we have different registers. So before we roll out any program, you know, we cross-check registers to ensure that there are no duplicates and no beneficiaries, you know, getting from different programs. So for example, now the previous programs that we've done at Kwasip, we had the register. So this new one, it was the new register that, you know, we had to come up with for the new beneficiaries. So that way there is no way beneficiary can be getting from multiple programs across the board.
Okay. Politics is in the air, and everybody thinks that some people think that it is a political ploy just for your party members. So if you are not an APC, does that mean that you will not benefit from that grant?
Well, I beg to differ. I've always said this right from the inception of this administration. Governor Abdurrahman Abdurazak is the governor of the people, is the governor of Kwara State.
Okay.
It would be an insult to be saying it's only APC members that are, you know, beneficiaries of this program, these laudable programs.
Well,
he has been a governor, you know, for all. You know, people will speculate such at a time like this. But the question I keep asking people is this the first time we are doing any of this program? Absolutely not.
We've done Owo Show in the past before. We've done transporter scheme in the past before. We've done Quapreneur, we're supporting youths with small and micro businesses across the state.
Okay.
And politics has never been the basis of selecting our beneficiaries. Okay. We've done programs where even members of PDP, SDP, no party affiliations are actually benefiting from. So I mean, there is no basis to say it is only APC members that are benefiting from these programs.
Okay. If you listened to our Vox Pop there, some people think that it is way too far away from their reach, and that they might not, it might never be their turn. Is there hope?
Well, if you look at the population of Kwara State, you run into millions. And by the time we are concluding this phase of Owo Show, we would have reached about 90,000 petty traders across the state. So this is a laudable scheme that's still ongoing, and that is why we ensure that at every disbursement we generate new register of fresh beneficiaries. So it's an ongoing scheme, and the feedback has been encouraging.
Okay, some people have actually commended you and applauded the program, but I just picked something from what you said now, and I really want you to emphasize on it. You said for beneficiaries from all over Kwara State. So how do you pick the beneficiaries that are not from the metropolis?
So like I said, our major partners on this program is Iyaloja and Babaloja.
Okay, from the
across
local government areas of Kwara State. Okay.
So they identify these petty traders for us. Okay. So all we have to do is, once they've been identified, they submit their list to us, then we send our agents to the field to go and do their enumeration. Okay. So the way our system is configured, even once you've been on our database before and we enumerate you, by the time we do data cleaning, we will ensure we cross-check with all the register we have in the office to ensure there are no duplicates. Okay. In fact, I think this last enumeration we had a similar issue where some people actually felt like, oh, they benefit before from the program, and this one too they could benefit. By the time we were doing about data cleaning, we actually removed those people's names. So by the time we were paying this last week, we actually got feedback that, oh, this person's name was on the list, but they weren't paid, but apparently they benefited from the program before and all of that. So it shows even our system is robust. Oh yes, so it shows our system is actually robust, and we are weeding out those kind of beneficiaries to ensure we reach more people.
Okay, so how do you monitor the beneficiaries to ensure that the money you have given to them is judiciously used?
Yes, all our beneficiaries, we have their contacts, we have their addresses. In fact, at the point of enumeration, we have their geolocation referencing. So at random times, we send our agent back to field just to go and do assessments. In fact, the last assessment we did was even done by an external body, and the report came very good. In fact, it's one of the reasons that actually informed this new disbursement that it's something that we need to keep on doing to assist our petty people in the states.
Okay, so when is the next grant most likely to be rolled out?
Well, we are still rolling out this one. We are not done disbursing.
Okay.
Yes.
Well, I'm trying to raise hope for
absolutely.
Those
our agents are still on the field. They are still enumerating. Okay, it's weekend. We had a break today, but by Tuesday again they will be on the field again across the state to enumerate more petty traders, and then we'll continue with the disbursements.
Okay, so anybody who does not know Iyaloja now might not likely.
So that is why we are not stopping at just the Iyalojas. We work with the mortgages, the Alanguas, of different communities to identify these petty traders for us, because they know the people better than we do.
Okay, so you give them the form, then they go back to their community to get it signed to be sure that they are really from.
By the time we send out our own agents too, before they enumerate you, they will have to ascertain that you fall within the brackets of our criteria.
Okay, it is not just that some people are taking your money
Absolutely
and going to put it to waste. You are
Absolutely
ensuring that they are actually investing.
Absolutely, yes.
Okay, thank you. Please, what advice do you have for this set of beneficiaries
my advice,
and those who have not benefited?
My advice would be, they should continue to make judicious use of these interventions, because it's clearly showing that we are doing something right. When this government came into power in 2019, the poverty index of Kwara State was on 30.4, as of the last report of World Bank state by state, it shows that we are now on 20.2 thereabout. So it has actually come down from 30.4 to 20.2. So it shows these interventions, are having impact on our people. So my ploy would just be to, encourage these people to make good use of these opportunities, and for the ones that are yet to be beneficiaries, they should hang on. It's only a matter of time. The fan is blowing, and it will soon blow to your side.
Thank you very much.
Thank you so much for having me once again. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much for giving us that explanation. Weekend Report will continue shortly. Please don't go away.
My husband, what won't be all this mess?
Mr. Andy,
what do they measure up and down?
so you don't know say our level don't change. Now the measure space we go contain everything where I go buy when I win my 1 million for FCMB Millionaire promo.
Win and change your levels with FCMB Millionaire promo. Just download the FCMB new mobile app to open accounts easily. Deposit minimum of 5k for the new account. Make you come visit wincity.fcmb.com to play and win. If you be FCMB customer, just deposit your 5k to your FCMB account. More deposits go give you more chance to win.
Bros, I don't open FCMB account and I don't put money inside. Hi.
Borrow your name. We still dey use am.
FCMB Millionaire promo. Levels go change.
Thank you for staying with us on the Nigerian Television Authority ILORIN, and you're watching Weekend Report. Moving ahead, as public campaigns for 2023 general elections begin in a few days' time, the Independent National Electoral Commission (INEC) has warned politicians and political parties against the campaign of calumny as well as incitement of public to avoid the wrath of the law. The admin secretary of INEC in Kwara State, Julius Yagba, gave the warning during an exclusive interview with Abdulafiz Alaya.
Activities towards the 2023 general elections has no doubt entered the critical stage, with electioneering campaigns slated to begin on 28th of September. As candidates and their parties go round to canvass for votes, Mr. Julius Yagba says they must abide by the dictates of the Electoral Act 2022, which forbid campaigns in religious centers and use of thugs, among others.
They are not supposed to campaign in specific places, such as religious houses, public spaces, public offices. They are also not supposed to be abusive in their approaches to their campaigns. As much as possible, to be civil.
While political parties must submit their campaign itineraries to security agencies for approval to avoid clash, any candidate or party that fails to play by the rules is liable to pay by fines and, in some instances, imprisonment.
The aspirant or candidate that commits any of these aforementioned offenses is likely to be liable to a maximum fine of 1 million naira or imprisonment for a term of 12 months. And in the case of a political party, a fine of 2 million naira in the first instance and 1 million for any subsequent offense.
To ensure a peaceful electioneering campaigns in Kwara, INEC is convening a stakeholders meeting next week to get their buy-in in promoting issue-based campaigns. Meanwhile, the Commission has pasted the final list of candidates for National Assembly and presidential elections in its ILORIN head office, in line with the Electoral Act. Abdulafiz Alaya, NTA News.
And moving to sport, Nigeria's Super Eagles draws against home-based Desert Foxes of Algeria in their latest international friendly. Abdulwahid Bibire is our guide.
The games, which was to get the Super Eagles in shape after missing out on the 2022 FIFA World Cup in Qatar, saw the Super Eagles of Nigeria come from behind to record a 2-2 draw against the home-based Algerian side. The Super Eagles will continue training in Constantine while waiting to take on Algeria's first team in an international friendly scheduled for Tuesday, September 27. The game will take place at the Stade Olympique de Oran and kick off at 8 p.m. Nigerian time. Head coach of the Flamingos, Bankole Olowo-Okere, has selected a list of 21 players for this year's FIFA Under-17 Women's World Cup in India after 3 weeks of intensive training. Olowo-Okere invited 35 players to the Abuja camp in preparation for the World Cup, but 14 players failed to make the final list for the tournament. Captain Alvin Zuzu, midfield Jewel Taiwo Afolabi, and top scorer Okoyemi Ajakaye, among others, made the Flamingo team to the 17th Under-17 Women's World Cup set to hold in India from October 11 to 30th. The Handball Federation of Nigeria has confirmed that the National Division 1 League 2022 will shoot off from October 9 through to 16. The second-tier league is organized by the Handball Federation of Nigeria, and all teams are expected to converge in Benin City on October 9, while games will commence in earnest the next day. Abdulwahid Bibire, NTA News.
And now let's take the weather forecast for tomorrow, Sunday, 25th of September 2022. And it is on that note I will conclude tonight's package of Weekend Report. We do thank you for being a part of it. Thank you for watching. Good evening and enjoy the rest of your weekend.